Hello, everybody. On a little bit earlier so that we can hopefully catch the 11:11 vibes. Wherever you are right now, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Golden Lily. Nice to see you here. My name's Fola. To those of you maybe who don't know that already, welcome to this channel. We're going to do some card pulls today. So if you'd like cards pulled, you can let me know in the comments. We'll get started. To those of you coming back, Golden Lily, I see. Always lovely to have you here. You know, maybe you can even let us know how things were since last week's reading. I think it was on Monday we met. I really do want to kind of make this like a bit of a regular thing again, with the flexibility of where life may take me, you know? So to start us off, I'm just going to pull a card. Now let's just see kind of the energies we're going to call in kind of collectively, I guess we can say, for this next week or so. Maybe wherever life is taking you. I got incense all over my sleeve. So for this week, for the collective, spirits, guides, ancestors, what's the kind of keyword that you have in store for us? Ooh, there might be more than one. Let's see what the four corners bring, shall we? Okay. So collectively, we'll start off with this card in the East, boundaries. I love how she's actually kind of sitting inside like a magic circle, inside that sphere of light, that protection energy, and has the balance of the three chalices. It's something I meditate on daily, is like the top of the crown, the heart, and the sacral or womb space, the sacred space of the Holy Grail. So there's something here about boundaries for all of us this week that we could tap into for really diving into our spiritual connection, rootedness with earth, and the crown. For sure, Jay, we'll pull some cards for you. Gotta make a list of people. You guys all know that I will get distracted and all over the place. So I'm gonna put you here, Jay. Okay. So in the West, passion, which I love because in the West on the medicine wheel is the energy usually of this like feminine, intuitive body knowing and the potential for healing. There might be something that wants to like burn away inside of you this week. Maybe it's a passion that wants to bring you some healing. And it might be as simple as dancing, putting on some music, moving your body, tapping into the body itself and its intuitive knowledge, okay? And this is going to transmute whatever pains might physically be happening for you, along with also the earth, I want to say. In the South, we have the energy of family. So in the South usually is kind of like heart healing, heart connection, emotionality. It's our connection to the plants themselves. But with family here, there's a deep sense of love and connection that's possible for your heart. Maybe you've been protecting your heart because that's the next card in the North. Maybe you've been kind of creating this sense of protection, these boundaries that don't really serve you. This week, we're really being called to kind of like let those go aside, at least when it comes to family, okay? You do, like step by step. You don't have to do it all at once, please. But I love this image. It's like this family walking out into the, I don't know, is that the moonlight or the sunset is what I wanted to say. And for many of you, this could be tied to like healing of some family wound that maybe has been sitting there in the shadow, not really being illuminated. This perhaps can be the week for that, which I think we have the full moon, do we not, this week? What month are we in? Let's see what it says. Oh yeah, it's on the 14th. Ooh, Valentine's Day. How fun. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's on Wednesday. Hi, poet. Poet, I like that. Okay. Wednesday, yeah, I don't know. It's Valentine's Day Friday, but whenever it is, it's coming up this week in a few days. Awesome. protection in the north. And I like how she's got the animal of the butterfly, because the animals are the kind of the guardians of the north direction. And so connecting with this earthly realm, perhaps connecting with butterfly, which to me is very much the healing animal. It's the animal of transformation. It's the animal of potential. What wants to come through here? You know, and really the earth mother, we see she's shown up in this card in the north, reminds us of this connection to earth, to the physical realm, to the natural world, not just our physical body world that we would say would be kind of in the west direction. So, what is this protection? How has this like served you in the past? How is it hindering you now to be overly protective with your boundaries, especially when it comes to family? Okay. So, whatever this might mean for you, this has kind of just been like the collective energy for this week. Um, Again, you know, and we might just do a real quick connection here before I start pulling cards. Again, if you're just coming on here, if you would like to have a card pulled, slash cards pulled, because you all know me. Well, you might not all know me, but yeah, I like pulling cards. You can let me know in the comments. So we're going to just tune into these 3 spheres of light, just to kind of start us off, these 3 chalices. 3 bowls in the body. And so if it helps you to have your eyes closed, you can do so. I'm just taking a few deep breaths here. Just allowing your heart and your mind to link, become one. Focusing on body sensations or awareness, the breath, your internal world. And now drawing awareness to the top of your head, at the sphere of Keter, we would call it in the tree of life, the crown. And here a ball of light begins to form, half inside your head and half outside your head. And with each breath, it grows and glows brighter and brighter, a white, brilliant light. Whatever you're sensing, whatever you're noticing here, it's all welcome. Maybe you don't notice anything at all. Just continue to imagine this white, brilliant sphere of light resting at the halfway point of your head, half outside, half inside at the crown. And exhaling out. As you draw your awareness now down into the heart space. And here in your heart, at your chest center, a red ball of light begins to form. Here at the sphere of what we call Tiferet, or beauty. And with each breath in and out, this ball of red light in your chest grows brighter and brighter. Perhaps you notice it beginning to expand out partway from your chest. Feeling that fiery flame. And on your next exhale, just letting that go as you draw your awareness now down into the womb space, into the pelvic bowl, that sacral space, where here a silvery ball of light begins to form. Perhaps you even see it in the form of a crescent moon, this place of the Holy Grail, this intuitive power that sits inside you. It continues to grow brighter and brighter, the silvery ball or crescent moon in the space of your womb or pelvic bowl. activating this place. And on your next exhale, drawing your awareness to your whole body, to these 3 points that you've activated here with your breath and visualization. And calling to your guides, your ancestors, those beings of light that wish to support you. Trusting that with this activation, the awareness of these points in your body as you go through your week, you can continue to make heartfelt connections, showing up as yourself with the appropriate boundaries and sense of protection that is needed so that you can live a life of passion. And taking a deep breath into the heart and letting it go as you just come back here. Oh, fun visualizing. This is what magic is, you guys. This is just about connecting to the power that is your mind so that you can create whatever it is you want to create, even if it's within your own body. Okay, so just saying. Okay, let's do some card pulls, shall we? Jay, I think we're starting with you. Hi, Harshini. Can I ask my question? Yeah, you can ask a question, and I will do my best to share cards as related to that question. And then Poet, I'm not sure if you wanted cards pulled. I don't think I saw, but you can let me know in the comments. So I was kind of thinking we'd start with a chakra stone, kind of to clarify just maybe where a bit of your focus could be around your energy centers. So we kind of have like 7 major energy centers known as chakras. Crown is one of them, right? The third eye, the throat, heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, just beneath the belly button, and then the root. Okay, and we'll just see what shows up with this. So for Jay, we'll start with this and we'll pull you a card. What's the stone for Jay? So we have the green heart chakra. Oh, I think it's supposed to be like this. This green heart chakra. So let's see 2 cards for this. Coming from and going. Okay. We'll do the Knight. Knight of Wands. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. A lot of cards wanted to flip for you, which is interesting. You know, it's almost like a sense of like indecision or something. Like there's all the things, you know, like you might, Jay, have like all the passions that you would like. I'm just writing Poet's name down. And when it comes down to it, though, we can't necessarily do all the things. Like, it's almost like we're having to like, or you, Jay, are having to like tame your heart's passions a bit. As if this horse, you know, like the wild horse needs to be sort of like reeled in and trained, tamed so that it can like then do its one particular task, like carry out its true will, whether that is to carry or pull a carriage or carry a rider or go into battle or whatever the case might be. You know, it's like the horse is kind of like trained to do the thing. And I think we live in such a world where we like have such a mix of where we want to do everything that can be really complicated. And it kind of like leads to a bit of this confusion in the heart space because we get pulled here, you know, like all over the place. So for you, it seems like you've been kind of coming from this place of like confusion and maybe feeling the need to like tame and get a bit more center focusedness in your life. And then we have the 5 of discs here, which is like, I don't know, some could say it's kind of like a grimish figure. And I feel like what this is really saying for you Jay, is like, what is the thing that lights you up that like is also you being of service to people? I don't know if you've ever done, what do they call those? Like Venn diagram. I think it's based on the Japanese principle. So it's got like a Japanese name of like writing out the like 3 to 4 different things or areas in your life where you focus on like the thing that you make money with, the thing that you love, the thing that you're really good at, and then like I don't know, whatever. Maybe there's a fourth thing. I'm pretty sure there is. Like the thing that you know is gonna like have an ongoing potential for you. I feel like something like that might be really helpful for you, and it might feel like there's a bit of a severity with that because I see 5 here, thinking Gebura, the sphere of Mars, and we have the warrior kind of energy with the horse, knight, and fire. So there's something here. It seems like it's almost that's going to be a bit of a challenge for you because it's like locking yourself in. But like there's people out there that really need what you have and your gifts, and they're all, you know, when we think about like taming the horse, like the horse is still a horse. The horse might go into battle, you know, but it can still be used to pull things. It can still be used to pull, you know, I don't know, whatever other things horses like what could be used for. That's probably a shitty example, but do you know what I mean? Like a knight's probably going to just use his horse or her horse. I don't know. There's female knights, but would be used for battle and going on long journeys, and that would be the focus. But also recognizing its other uses. And the main thing about the knight is that it's the knight's like of service to people, and I think this is where you're going to gain a lot of clarity. And there's people, these people outside who are like waiting for you to share your gifts and connect with you in a way that lets you still be yourself because it's pulling on all of those like 4 kind of points I mentioned in that Venn diagram, but most importantly from your heart. Okay. Let's pull one of these for Jay. So just breathing into your heart, Jay, whatever those words might mean to you, whatever clarity you feel like might not be possible or what is possible, like just trusting what needs to be. And we have the sun card. So the sun literally is the sphere of the heart. It's Tiferet, beauty, I mentioned. So you might find use this week to not only do that kind of like Venn diagram if you haven't, or really gain clarity on what it is you want to bring or tap into as your like, I don't know, thing. But the sun, a sun meditation, you know, standing in front of the sun, letting it enter into your heart, imagining the sun as your heart, and like we did kind of in the opening sort of practice, and just really remembering that you are this light. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, you are going to be this sun, this light for people who might be struggling, and simply by living from the passion of the heart. So I hope that makes sense, Jay. You can take what you will with that, but I appreciate you being here. I'm going to keep these short so we can fit everyone in because I'm going to have to go shortly after 12 or whatever, you guys, at like around that hour mark, okay? Sweet. Well, that's mostly hopeful, I think, unless you know, sometimes you can feel a little bit more confused, you know, and I want to just speak to this for a real quick minute because for the last like maybe 2-3 months I was in like a really deep state. Like pretty much like a spiritual depression is what I'd identify it as, and just like everything's meaningless and what am I doing in life and all this stuff. Having come from a world where I felt like I'd had a very clear direction on like where spirit wants me to go, you know, with the YouTube channel, with like the healing business that I had. That's such a funny way to say it, healing business. Anyway, and then all that just kind of like went out the window. But the beautiful thing about it is that it's brought me to like myself. It's brought me, and something I've been meditating on since I would say probably around like June, was that idea of the sun, literally seeing the circumpunct. The circumpunct is like this symbol, this astrological symbol, I guess we could say, of the sun. Okay, the medicine wheel again. And that I feel like can be such a powerful reminder, and it helps us to connect to the still point of self within the cosmic order of things. Okay. So whatever that is for you, Jay. Okay, Harshini, I believe you have a question, but I do not see your question. So I'm going to just pull some cards for you. Maybe your question will be answered, and then we'll get to poet. If anyone else is just joining in, so I see people coming and going, at least the numbers coming and going. If you'd like a card pulled, you can let me know. So Harshini, what would we need you to see or know? Okay, Harshini's guides. What would you like Harshini to know? Okay, well, we'll just do that. Why are all the cards like in major flip mode today? Ooh, we didn't pull you a chakra stone though. We'll do that too. I guess we're going backwards. Okay, let's see what here, Harshini, what stone, what chakra wants your awareness? Harshini stone. Okay, I think this one is the sacral. Yeah, orange. I have to check because it looks like a goldy yellow to me. So we have the sacral here, the orangey sacral or womb space, which totally makes sense with the high priestess. That intuitive crescent, silver crescent moon that we meditated with, right? This is literally her energy. She's the one that directs us or connects us to spirit, but ultimately to ourselves. And we could say the high priestess is really that energy of Mary Magdalene, right? So she was the one that like connected Jesus to the ability, really, I would say, to create the resurrection experience, to uplevel his consciousness, the consciousness of humanity, the consciousness of her as well, because it's like a paired union. Okay, so you have the 10 of wands as well. So I'm kind of like seeing this energy of like this coming from to this week. Maybe you've been kind of like in this place of wanting to tune into intuition, feeling this like call that knowing that there's this like deep, intuitive, feminine knowing inside of you that is represented by the high priestess. But this week, maybe you're like entering into it with a bit more of like this working hard mindset. Like I'm just seeing this person carrying these wands in like the most awkward position ever. For like what reason? Like it's gonna just hurt his back, right? It's like he's gonna go crashing into something. He can't even see what he's doing. He's just walking like why are you doing that? And yet at the same time, Harshini, this individual is blinded by these wands, can't see beyond it. And the high priestess, in a way, would be like the oracle who's also like blinded, the seeress who can't see. And the veil is behind her, but yet she trusts an inner knowing instead of a hard, like masculinated force knowing. Okay. So there's something here that your sacral chakra, I think, just wants you to be aware of. We'll pull one of these cards to see. For Harshini, that's one of these clarifying cards. Freedom. So this is kind of tied to the energy. So if you are, I'm not sure if you're a man or a woman, Harshini, but like I'm getting the sense of even if there's like a relationship where maybe you're feeling burdened by a partner, there's this call for freedom. Oh, I just read this today. Where did I read it? I don't know. Oh, actually, I think it was like the opening statement on Insight Timer, I think. And it was like Stephen Hawking's being quoted. If you know who Stephen Hawking is, he is like, what was he, like a paraplegic? But like, I'm not saying paraplegics can't be geniuses, because obviously anyone can be a genius. that he, it's probably been perceived by some people as like, oh, like poor you. You are in a wheelchair. You can't talk like with verbally with your mouth. Da 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 da. Like that must be such a life of horrible confinement. But his statement was like, even though I can't walk or I can't talk, I'm happy or something because I live a life of complete freedom. Because he knows that freedom is not a physical constraint or a physical thing. Obviously it can sometimes be connected to that. Say if someone's literally enslaved and like beaten for any time they try to do their own thing. But this concept of freedom, I think, can be really tuned into this internal mind. And the high priestess tuning into your womb shows you this whole other world, especially because with the sacral space, with that womb space, the pelvic sacral area, that is tied to the sphere of Yesod on the tree of life. And that sphere is connected to the astral realm. And so the astral is like so much more than what this physical world is. So I think you connecting through meditation, through this concept of what freedom actually means and looks like for you, and forgetting all the other constraints, especially if there's something about a relationship. Um, let him, if it's a man, or whoever the other person is that this is maybe bringing up, let them do their own thing. It doesn't need to reflect on you, okay? That's all I want to say about that. Okay. So I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to say about that, Harshini. So thank you. Thank you for being here. All the best this week. Hi, Helga. Oh, sweet. Nice to have you join in. Awesome. Yes, we'll get you a card. I think we have Poet next, and then it's you. Okay. And I just had to like log into my actual page on my computer because I was not sure if I'm getting messages or not. So now we know. Okay. Poet, it's your turn. Let's see what cards or what chakra wants to be brought to your awareness this week. As it is the full moon, I guess. Oh. Okay, I believe this is considered the crown chakra. I don't know. There's some anyways, I'm not going to get into that. But we have the brilliant white. This is what I'm going to identify it as. I don't read Hindu, Sanskrit. But the spiritual divine connection. And what I'm seeing actually is like the Holy Trinity, the three, because there's a triangle inside and there's something written, but I'm seeing it written as a three, kind of like backwards, okay? So the mother, father, son, or father, mother, son, Father, Holy Spirit, and the child. You have the Seven of Cups. That's always a fun one. And the King of Cups. Don't mind me. Sometimes I just have to sit with it. It's like, what's this really? It's interesting again. And I think many of you might be new here. I just love doing readings and like seeing for like on these lives, say, and seeing the interconnections between everything. Because we really are like interconnected in so many ways, which is really beautiful. And I'm seeing here with that interconnection, and I'm like literally feeling it in my womb space, like this, like, like fiery kind of attention. There's something like wanting to get your attention, I think, Poet. And is this like, it could very well be tied to what I think. The reason I'm going to say this is like I'm seeing this card of the Seven of Cups, and I'm seeing the veiled energy. It's like literally a person covered, and I'm seeing it, and I'm thinking of like Jesus. And I'm seeing the snake here, like the tempter, kind of coming towards Jesus, but Jesus in this like transfiguration kind of situation. He's overcome all. I've never read the card like this, by the way, so this is interesting. This is coming through for you. He's overcome all the temptations of the physical world down here, and he's like being risen up through the cup again, Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene, the Holy Grail-ish kind of concept of the feminine, so that he can transcend the difficulties of life. And the feminine energy is hidden in this all with the cup. And there's this like person who's supposed to be you, but it's almost like the creator of the reality in the shadows, observing the puppet master, so to speak. I really feel like the puppet master is actually this King of Cups poet. Like, and this card, what I'm seeing or hearing or whatever with it is like this like masculine energy of patriarchy, let's say, that's like put dominion over the feminine. That's why he's like sitting there holding the cup on top of the water. And I feel like this has like kind of been like a sour taste in your mouth, especially when it comes to maybe spirituality. So maybe if you did come from like religious programming from the past or anything like this, that might be impacting now what's coming. But like, I just feel like you're meant to see this is like the role of the feminine. Okay, this is like everything that's happened in the past is meant to be to bring on this ascension of the masculine energy. And if you think about how like women are in general, you know, and I say feminine, masculine, we all have that inside each of us, no matter if we're a man or a woman or whatever. Okay. But I feel like in this case, it's really like recognizing kind of where women like, I guess, felt the sense of lack across time. And, you know, this, anyways, I was going to say the same thing goes now for a mother, you know, like I know for me, oftentimes, not all the time, it's depending on what I'm making, but like when I make supper, like I will, as the woman, I will tend to like stand back and be like, hey, let my child, let my partner consume this meal that I've created for them. Not first, like, but let them serve themselves first. I'm not sitting there watching them eat. Like, don't take care of yourself, you know? Or if I'm really hungry, I'm gonna like go in and like make sure I get food. But like, that's like this role that like I think as women, we have so beautifully cultivated. And so instead of seeing it as like a negative, like cup half full, it's like, okay, like look at this gift that I have, this ability to see and recognize what people's needs are and to recognize the interconnectedness of this like trinity, okay, of sun and man. And I think we have the fierce card here. There really is like a fierceness that comes with being that way. Again, not letting people walk over the self. And again, too, from the sense of the feminine, the mother energy on the tree, Bina, which is represented by the great sea, like she is a turbulent, fierce force of nature that will devour and does devour the people or others that come in the way, you know, and so she still has a place in this beautiful, intricate tapestry that is the trinity of life. Okay. So, yeah, whatever that might mean for you this week, I think if you've been like going through this spiritual journey and then maybe it seems like it's not really what you thought it would be, tune into the wisdom of the Father because there's a lot of gray. We have the king energy. There's grays in this, shrouding this being, and the cloud is gray. So that reminds me of Hokmah, the father, which is the counterbalance of Binah, the mother. Okay, left right hemispheres of the brain, and let that wisdom. If it's Odin, you connect with. I don't know what pantheons or spiritual beliefs you hold, but so many different gods, deities, Neteru that you can connect with. But Odin might be a good one, I feel like, because he, like, to me, is like the identification of wisdom and that masculine father energy. That might be something you want to tap into this week and support you with this spiritual energy. Okay, I think that's it. poet. Nope, that makes sense. Let's see, reading things. Okay. Oh yes, Helga, we're gonna get to you. Point. So on point. Okay. Well, that's helpful. You know, and like I should say, maybe before I get into all this stuff with people, is like, if it doesn't resonate with you, then that's okay. It's like no, what is it? No skin off my back. What a horrible like analogy. But you know, like it doesn't matter to me. I tell people often, like, it might not make sense. That's okay. You get to determine, again, you hold the power inside of yourself. You create your reality. And these card pulls are just really a way for us to tune into, like, what's the energy that's kind of like maybe showing up, or something that I need to be aware of. Because, you know, it's important that we have a bit of intention and intentionality behind our lives. And so this isn't about like telling the future. I can't do that because every possibility exists. But you, my friends, get to like figure out what aligns and what you make of this. And if it doesn't, then go find someone else. You know, like go, there's like so many people sharing messages and all that. I just love it. YouTube, really, at least my like algorithm, it's quite amazing. So I'm very grateful for YouTube. Um, Poet says, yeah, you're welcome. It's a deep week with so much. I saw Seven of Cups and I laughed. Well, and I just posted something about art because like seven is that energy of Netzach of Venus. So like yeah, there could be so much beauty even within that like randomness of the art, randomness of the Seven of Cups. Okay, but we're gonna move on. Helga, BJ. Let's get a stone for you. I feel this one. My finger is attached to it. I gotta pull it out. Oh, let's look around again. So we have the crown chakra, the top of the head, in the head. So let's see what the week has for you, Helga. Oh, baby. I don't know if I just said that. We got the Ten of Swords. It was interesting too because like the Ten of I don't know if you could see that, but the Ten of Swords fell out, and then like all these other cards kind of like toppled on top of it. So maybe you've been feeling like the world is toppling over you or on top of you, Helga. That's this other card for kind of this forward movement. Ancestors. And like, so I was kind of like tuning into your like spirit team or something. I don't know, or like just be calling them, I guess I want to say. And like this energy of a grandmother came through. So I don't know, Helga, if that's someone. I mean, you obviously have a grandmother, but like if that's someone that's like been a support for you or was a support for you, I feel like it's just like a really powerful message right now. Like there's something about that might like be supportive for you. And it's it's funny. I was surprised the Hierophant didn't come out for I think Poet's reading, but here it is because it's again this time. So the Hierophant kind of being this like religious figure. The masculine kind of counterpart to the High Priestess. It's like it's not really the Pope, but it's like a papal type figure, right? This one that's been ordained, that is in charge of filling the world with the knowledge and the wisdom, the rulership kind of the divine, and the understanding of spirit stuff. But in a very material, like this world. Whereas the High Priestess is like the behind the scenes mysteries is how I would identify it. Okay. But I feel like there's something here. This could be tied, maybe like, I don't know, Helga, is like, do you have a family member or this grandmother too was like kind of like hyper religious? I feel like a lot of this like religious stuff might be kind of like Oh my gosh, what's the word I want to use here? Bombarding you. It was like a weird word of like imbuing, and I need to look up that word because I feel like there's something there. Imbue. Um, Inspire, permeate with a feeling of or quality. So something has been like permeating you, but it's like, okay, let me rephrase this. So it's like it feels like it's bombarding you, but I want you to like start to shift, and maybe this grandmother energy wants you to shift where you then can start to feel less feel less bombarded and feel more inspired. Oh my god, that was like okay, I need to not read while I do this. Okay, let me just read what it says. Oh, hi, Kat. Yes, we'll get your name on here. You'll be next. Um, One died before I was born, and I was 17 when my second. Oh, the grandma. Okay, okay. So I don't know if you work with. We're gonna pull one of these, but I don't know if you work with like ancestral energy or your ancestors, but that might be something worth doing. You know, like I know my great great grandmother has like definitely an involvement in my like spiritual path because my understanding, I don't know how true this is. No one in the family really actually knows, but it's like she was like deeply connected with like the Ifa Yoruba tradition in Nigeria. Like I'm pretty sure she was a high priestess within that like realm, and she was married to my great great grandfather who converted to Christianity. He was working with missionaries, changed the family name, like did all this stuff. And it's like I had such a negative view about the religiosity of my family. But then working with her, calling and praying, um, going through meditations or journeys with her, you know, however that looks for you, it started like opening new awareness in my mind. Like you'll start to get, you'll just get insights, okay, that you're like, how do I even know this? And you can like ask family, and they'll most likely confirm. There'll be things that will be confirmed to you. Okay, that's all I can say. Um, and the reason, you know, I say it's like, say, talking to a great aunt of mine who then told my mom and I about how that great great grandmother had like some certain tribal markings that she always wondered, like, how come that's so vivid? And it's like that wasn't common in the family or in their like place of living unless there was ties to particular like religious spiritual practices. So it's like things like this. Okay, I just want to like say that to you. Um, Oh, poet says, yeah, this outcast, you're the outcast because family are severe Catholic types. You see this so much of this energy for many of us here, because we are the ones that are waking up or have woken up and are meant to share and tap into this spirituality, this polarity of religion. People say I'm sensitive, but I don't know how to work with them. I sense a lot and I dream a lot. And I love that poet. Yeah, keep a dream journal. That's like first thing in the morning, write out anything you remember, even if it's one little word, and then see how the dream starts to come back. Um, yeah, Helga, like you totally, um, you have, if you have this sense that you have this gift or ability, then you do. And this is part of the fun of, you know, any spiritual practice or awakening to yourself as the spiritual being that you are, is you get to just start being curious and like do things like this, you know, like you were just mentioned, do write in a dream journal. Like that's one step, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. That's okay. You got to just keep making the choices and seeing where it leads you on the path. The yellow brick road, as someone I know used to say. So you have the heart chakra here as well, love. If you missed the beginning kind of practice we did, you could go back and listen to that. That might be something that supports you. But I feel like this love energy, connecting with love to these ancestors, connecting to love with your thoughts, because we have the Ten of Swords, so there's a thought energy here in the mind. Whatever these burdens might be feeling like, you know, instead of trying to push them away, can you just like welcome them. Like, I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you. And having this, coming from this place of gratitude can really be so beneficial with shifting whatever this religious energy has been. And, before when I used to see this card, I'd be like, ugh, religion, structure, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I see it as this like beautiful counterpart that is so needed in our life. Kind of like I mentioned in some of the other readings. Okay. So I think that's all I need to say about it. Let it imbue you with inspiration. Okay. Helga? Yes. Okay, sweet. Hi, Golden Lily. Hello again. You were here before, weren't you? Oh, I don't. Maybe you like wrote hello before it started live. I'm glad you got. If you'd like a card pulled, let me know. Okay, we're gonna go on to Kat. Okay. Oh, I did write your name down, Golden Lily. That's funny, actually. Okay. I felt it, and then it left. And I could, okay, this is interesting, Kat. I felt my finger graze. Maybe I should just grab it. I felt my finger graze the top of this stone. I used to use these for my Reiki class, and I still do. I just haven't fixed this. I don't know why I haven't, but it's like the third eye stone is like got a part of it broken, so I can feel it like kind of like slicing my finger. So maybe I should just pull that out for you. But otherwise, got the solar plexus stone. Something about solar plexus and the third eye. Something perhaps for you to spend some time meditating on in terms of the solar plexus space this week. Let's pull some cards. Let's see. Solar plexus. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say there's something about the joy energy. And you got the four of wands, which is like to me such a like celebratory card. Okay. And let's see what's the third eye. Woohoo! Okay. And you got the tower card there, and it like went like blue flying. I don't know. I want to put that in there. So this paints quite the image, Kat, right? In one sense, it's like, like perhaps you've been feeling like there's a bit of this, like, yeah, like everything's been going really great. And this week ahead, it's kind of like, holy fuck, like, what is this? But I just want, like, the main thing I want to say is maybe the third eye is being kind of like hindered or like veiled a bit, like your perception is being a little bit covered. And so in order to shift that, and again, not glass half full kind of perspective, is to recognize why the tower moment happens in our lives. The tower is that Martian energy of like structures collapsing so that something new can be fulfilled. Okay. When something is like being destroyed or broken down, it's just really an opportunity for something new to come through. So I'm going to pull one of these chakra cards and let's just see what shows up with that. Like, again, this isn't like be like, better watch out because this week's gonna be fun. Like, that's not what I'm saying. It's just more like just shifting your perception, what you're seeing. Meditation, I think, can help. But like, I feel like maybe you're being called to do your meditation or spiritual practice a little bit differently. And sex might be one of those things. I don't know how old you are. I can't maybe be assuming I can tell you these things. I think I put this for no kids though. So anyway, so when I say this, I am saying anything that brings that joy, that brings that pleasure, the connection to, oh, okay, you're 46, okay, so you, how can you bring this sense of joy and pleasure, which is ultimately going to birth something new, okay? It's like this union, which is very much what I see with this card too. It's a celebration of marriage, There's something happening here, the walking through a gateway of this beautiful new existence. Okay. And this can be really what's accomplished or carried forward, even again from the weeks prior. But this is going to help you to transmute the energy of this tower, the things that seem to be crumbling. Like if you're having disagreements with a partner, you know, some people might not really agree with this, but like sex, intimacy can help to like refresh things. Obviously, use that in like, or take that with a grain of salt, maybe, because I think there could be like unhealthy drama, chaos causing energy that can happen with people, and then they think sex is going to fix everything. But like really entering into any type of sense of intimacy with self or with other, with the intentionality of gaining like a clarity of like, hey, what am I needing to see with the tower? What is my tower right now, or towers? And with this letting go, that's going to eventually happen with that, because it's about surrendering and allowing the free fall. Same thing as sex, right? Like surrendering and allowing the self to just receive. That can bring about something so new and so positive, this like positive union. Okay. So I think that's it, Kat. I think that's all I have to say with that. Meditate, and if you even meditate on your solar plexus, just kind of like above the belly button, underneath the diaphragm, well, imagining your eye shining on that space, I think that can be supportive. And we'll just ask the angels if there's anything blocks or anything in that kind of space in your body and your energetic field, to just clear it, remove any cords, any attachments. Just breathing that in. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, Kat. Have a fun week. Oh, God. What was the first card called again? Oh, I think it was the Four of Wands. I don't even think I said that, did I? I might have. Four of Wands in the Tower. Okay. It's interesting too that you're what, 46? Because 4 plus 6 is 10, which is Malkut, which is kind of like the earthly realm, but it could also equal 1, which is like, you know, so we kind of have this new beginning, ending, new beginning energy of your date of age. Okay. Golden Lily. Let's pull some cards for you. And I think this will be the last one. So I say that and I'm like, people come on. But I know it's lunchtime. Ah! Ooh, oh, we got this. We got the solar plexus again. And my finger totally did graze that fucking amethyst one again. But anyway, okay, Golden Lily. I like how you got the yellow stone too with your name. Okay. I feel like the cards want me to do this. What cards, guys, wish to come through for Golden Lily today? Oh. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying these readings. Like I said, I want to do more of these. I've like had to come to accepting myself as this like seer, intuitive person. I was feeling a little bit like, oh God, oh. You know, because I really am someone that does like all sorts of different things. So I've like come into this place of just accepting this and like really wanting to show up more doing it. Okay. So I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support just by liking this, subscribing, sharing it with someone, or if you want to join our membership, you can hit the join button. I think it's like right beside my name if you're watching this, or somewhere below. And that will like let you join the membership portal. And that just, yeah, encourages me to continue doing what I'm doing. Because, yeah, I have the same amount of time in the day as you all do. Got to be able to feed and do the things I enjoy doing. So I appreciate that if you want to join. I think it's like pretty much the price of a coffee each month if you go with the Zellator membership. And then there's the Practicus membership, which is a little bit more, but you get access to some of my like previous teachings on Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, and other magical things that come through. And then oftentimes I post other like card pulls and other bits of inspiring information only for the members. So you can check that out if you would like to. I don't know why I'm being drawn to the bottom of this card, Golden Lily, or the bottom of the deck, but we have the wild card. I'm not going to say this is the card, but I just want to point out that. And it's interesting because the first card that came out was the Two of Swords, and I saw, first thing that I saw when I pulled it was the moon. So you have this like crescent moon again, these ties, you guys, between this energy. You also have the Page of Swords. Ooh. And I like how like the way the cards were like laid out, it's almost like the page is in this position as like, is he gonna dance? Or is he gonna attack this individual who's blinded? A very justice-like energy, sitting there, can't see, trusting that they're protected with two swords, or at least that like this energy of like is gonna delay anyone from creating any physical harm to them. And yet there might be the sense for you, Golden Lily, that there is, you know, it's almost like you're thinking it could be something bad or it could be something good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean with that? That can like lead to like a lot of anxiety, which might be why this lovely solar plexus card has shown up. And it's like life is like a wild card. It really is. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. I've been like reading through Thich Nhat Hanh, one of his books, or like a collections of his writing, along with the Codependent No More book. And the thing that this lady in the Codependent No More book, and very much Thich Nhat Hanh is saying, is like the power of awareness, of being mindful and just bringing everything to self, to the breath, so that we can like find the center point where we aren't worrying about the things that may or may not happen, or the things that have happened in the past. Like there's so much of this potential. And I get the sense this is definitely your thoughts because of the sword energy that's taking place with the cards, okay? You have the Crossroads card. So like, it's like this conjoining place right now. You can like continue on the path of anxious, worrying, not knowing what's going to be, thinking the worst of every situation, or you can start to choose something different. Now the question is, how do you do that? And I think really like a huge part of it is just recognizing that we actually don't have any control at all in life. In, you know, the Codependent book, it's like you don't have any control on anyone else. Everyone gets to choose how they live life and what they do, you know? And something that like might be helpful is just recognize that like everyone is doing the best that they can. You're doing the best that you can, and that everything that happens on this path of life really is meant for your evolution, okay? And if you think about it, like, I mean, I would like to say this is the situation for in my life, even though there's some things where I'm still like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? Right? Or I'm still like moving through the healing process of it. But it's like everything that has happened, it's happened for a reason, and it's made me like a better person. It's made me really who I am now and helped me to see things, you know? So there's something about that seeing. Like I said, seeing, and I'm seeing her like being blinded or blindfolded, not seeing, trusting the inner instinct, this moon energy again, that sacral womb energy of intuition, like watching over you, okay? the support of, well, I love how we have the support of the mother in the back with the C, and we have the supportive foundation energy of the father with the gray cemented floor that she's on. So you have the spiritual mother, the spiritual father that you could connect to support with this real, and your own intuition, the 3, so that you can really trust this direction your life is taking and to really ease on these worries. And like, something I just listened to, you know, that like, oh, I can't show you, but you know that like optical illusion image, and it's like it shows a young woman, um, but it could also be the old woman in like Victorian garb, and it's like the young woman's looking off, but if you, depending on how you're seeing it, you might see this old woman with a huge like kind of chin and like all that. Anyways, that image. I think it was Bob Proctor talking about this, and I really like, he's like, when you're going through like any type of spiritual awakening, your thoughts might become like more negative, and you might see yourself negatively. And I know I was going through this. This is why it stood out to me so much, where it's like, even when it came to editing videos, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't even want to see myself. Like, it was so negative. And I feel like I've done a lot of work on like accepting myself, seeing myself, allowing myself to hear my voice. Because before, that was like a huge issue for me. I did not want to hear my voice. So editing videos was very difficult. Um, but like that kind of shifted, and it was more positive up until like recently. I'd say it's been me going kind of into an old pattern where I don't want to see myself, don't want to hear myself. Um, and I like what Bob Proctor said with the example of that old woman, young woman image, optical illusion, is that it's okay if you see one or the other, but know that they both exist. So, like, it's about the perception shift again. Focus on the thing that you want. Anytime you catch yourself thinking about the worry, the person attacking you, or the thing happening, shift it to, okay, you know. And like, if this is like tied to like really deep like PTSD stuff, then maybe it's time to talk to a therapist and go through the healing, like EMDR, any of these practices, so that you can literally move the energy of a past traumatic experience. Because all the affirmations, all the things in the world most likely won't even touch any traumatic thing that's happened. I just want to say, okay? But spirit and your spiritual guidance, that can help with healing, for sure. And how does that happen? You pray, spirit guides you to a therapist. Like, who knows, right? Like this, it happens in the physical. So I want to say that for you. And I feel like that's all I need to say, Golden Lily. And with that being said, I want to just kind of plug my book, because I'm aiming to be more vocally upfront with these things. But the reason I say this too, this is the book that just came out in October. This is a magical grimoire on the 72 names of God. Okay, this is like a deep dive into the Kabbalistic practice of these 72 divine names of the universe that can help us to shift energy, heal our traumas, heal our mental health woes, things like this. Like, really, I feel like depression, anxiety, a lot of these things that we go through, yes, it can be tied to our physical. You know, how are we eating? How are we caring for ourselves? What environment do we find ourselves in? But I really do believe that a lot of this is tied to a spiritual, like, lack of connection. And so this book is about like helping you tap back into that in a very profound way, because we think of God as this like one sort of like concept, but I can tell you, working and writing this book, working with the names, it goes deeper than that. And it ties in the tarot cards, it ties in astrology, it ties in so many other pieces. And so this book is available on Amazon. Again, it is the 72 Names of God. Where is it there? Can you see it? The magical grimoire, available on Amazon. And yeah, I just feel like I should share that with you, because I really am like, where my life has gone to over the past like 5 years or so of kind of working and starting to build a relationship with the divine in this way has really been life changing for me. So live your truth, though. Do what you will. But yeah. You're welcome, Golden Lily. All the best with your crossroading. Off what? AV tracking. Anyway. Well, let us conclude, y'all, with a little meditation, or at least a little breathing. Thank you for being here. And as you go on your day, I want to just read what Kate says. Kate. Speaking of earlier, highly recommend Thich Nhat Hanh's full Resting in God Dharma talk on repeat. Okay, thank you for that. Resting in God. Oh, that sounds so peaceful. So wherever you are, let's just find a moment of rest here. Whether you have your eyes opened or closed. I'm going to invite you to just begin to count your breath. Counting the length of the inhale and counting the length of the exhale, however long it is, not changing the breath, just noticing it. And as you continue to count the breath, maybe you notice some changes in the length, changes in the quality of it. And as you continue on your next exhale, when it gets to the last point of the breath, I invite you to just breathe out a little bit longer, just another second, and then hold the breath for a second on empty lungs until you inhale again. So creating a bit of a pause on that just briefly extended exhale. And with that empty, holding out pause, you come back to the inhale. And just noticing the inhale, not changing it, just counting the seconds it takes for your inhale. And allowing your breath to just return to normal after your next exhale. Noticing the quality of the breath now. Letting go of the counting. And bringing to awareness that silver crescent moon or ball that lays in your pelvic bowl. The red sphere in your heart, glowing brightly. And the brilliant white light sitting at your crown, top of your head. These three chalices, these three bowls that are you. And on your next inhale, breathing into the heart and letting it go. So thank you all. Appreciate you being here. And I guess until the next time, exploring the tarot card, the Justice card should be out this week. Another episode of the Living Magic Occult Cast on Will and Control will also be out this week, if all goes as planned. And yeah, perhaps I will see you again next week on here. Yeah, hope you have a great week. Check out the book. Join the membership if you'd like. Share this video with someone you think would be finding the opening reflection helpful. And until the next time, bye.